How did you guys go with that?
Good.
It's actually quite easy to write it from where you want to be, the person you want to become. It's easier to write it than writing where you are now.
Or where you think of yourself now, you mean?
Yeah.
Right. So here's the catch, right? Here's the catch, because that's the thing. It's like you're never going to become that person until you step into being that person now.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's the thing. It's like everything's created internally, everything shows up externally. So if you can create that, if you can write it, if you can think it, if you can feel it, then you can become it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you have a belief that, yeah, you know, you can become it, but it's going to take years, it's going to take hard work, it's going to take, like, I don't know, all this other stuff to go down. Or you can choose to have a belief where it's like, well, this is the identity I choose to step into now. Yeah. And here's how it's going to be, and here's the decision, and here's the choice, right? So, yeah, it's really, really, really powerful stuff. So I'd love to get some shares from you guys. I mean, you can read out bits if you want, or you can just talk from the heart, or whatever, but I want to know, who are you stepping into becoming in order to create the brands, the messaging, the results, the money, the impact, the fame, or whatever it is that you are chasing? Who are you stepping into becoming? Who do you commit to becoming, and what's that going to look like for you?
It's really interesting because I started off just with really short, like, I am this, I am power, I'm a mission, and then it kind of went into sentences, you know, and I kind of delved further into why I was that person.
Yeah.
Which I found really interesting. It was flowing, and I was like, oh yeah. So I'll go.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
So one of the biggest things for me is healing. So I always tell myself I'm already healed.
Right.
Because I feel like whatever's held me back is because of things that happened in my past. So I am healing, I am self-loving, I am sensitive, I am limitless, I am vibrant, I am vivacious, I am influential, I am unapologetic, I am a warrior of love, I am magnificent, I am the product of my happiness. Thank you.
Yes.
You've already influenced one person. I am approachable. I am living a life of service. I am a student every day. I am committed to letting go of anything that's not serving me. I am forgiving. I am helping others feel empowered to raise their vibration so that they can raise their results. I am impacting families in a positive way through education and mindset. I am a leader with integrity and love. I am empowering other humans all over the globe to turn up their light. I'm embracing all experiences with understanding and acceptance. I'm managing money and finances with ease. I'm engaging with my tribe daily so they feel supported. I'm celebrated by my tribe and I celebrate them. I am educating, empowering and encouraging. I am a very successful fitness and yoga teacher. I am pouring strength and love into every one of me. I am so internally overflowing with happiness that it just is a natural progression and that others feel the same. I'm a successful author of my top seller book. And I am expanding every single day, immeasurably.
Awesome. Awesome. Who else is getting some identity ideas just from listening to that, right?
I had to like pages. It was like so many more.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like if you hear something in someone's identity, like take on whatever that is that you feel like, oh, you know, I need to step into becoming more of that. So with that new identity in mind, with being committed to stepping into being that person right now, because it's just a choice, right? I want you to now share your message or what you want to share with the world. What is your message now that you've already stepped into that new identity that you just shared with us?
If I can, you can. I'm just like you.
Right.
We were all born with the same. Maybe, yeah. No, as far as my message is that just you do have the power to change any moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I've got goosebumps. It's completely different from where I was at before. Anyone else feeling that?
Yeah.
Cool. Feedback, thoughts, comments?
I like how you mentioned finances, because that's something I just completely forgot to mention that, and that's a huge part as well. I mean, you know, the whole having freedom is being financially independent, financially free, and yeah, that's a really good reminder, I think, to include that, because you know, if you don't be the person who attracts wealth, then you're gonna give your services away for free.
I think for me though, I do believe wealth can be created so easily, and and I've proven it by getting here. But I don't know how to manage money. Like that's my biggest work right now is around looking after it and then knowing where for it to go. Like you know, when I talk to Sneva about property, I'm like, I've got no idea about investment, and it's just such a whole new level. I'm willing to commit, but you know, in order for me to share with others that you can have it all and you can totally live a life of freedom, I need to know that I'm going to live my life with financial understanding with ease too. You know, so that's my next.
Right, and that's identity stuff as well.
Yeah.
And you're right, like there's a very different identity to someone who knows how to create wealth and money, and then someone who knows how to keep and leverage wealth and money. And it doesn't have to be one or the other, like that's the thing. And some people only are one or the other because they haven't chosen to do both. So again, I'd be incorporating like, you know, I receive money, but then I leverage money, and then money stays with me, and I always have surplus money, and you know, all of this around that as well. Yes, that's huge. There's no point making $1 million if you have nothing to show for it at the end of the day.
Well, this is the thing, and you know, it's obviously been through my self-education of reading books and listening to podcasts. You know, when you talk to people, I know so many people who have equity and who look like they have money, but they really don't. Like, you know, they don't look after it, and they come into it and they lose it, and they come into it and lose it, and it's just like, when are you going to learn? You can't keep it until you expand yourself enough to contain it, and and that's why it's so important for me, and especially having a young son. Like, I just don't want him to ever struggle like I have, and I've just lived in scarcity my whole life, and mindset. Even at dinner the other night, I was counting out my dollar bills, like trying to think about how many dinners and lunches, and then it wasn't until I got home I was like, why did I even do that? Like, that was just, so it was a bit of a reflection.
And it's language as well, eh? Like, I wanted to apologise to you for like what I said when you contacted me about the manifestation thing. Because this wasn't, it was bullshit. It was total bullshit.
Oh,
like,
really?
I think I
don't
said
remember
like,
what you said.
I maxed out my cards and I can't afford it right now or something. That's not true. What the truth was is that like I knew I needed to focus on this one thing right now, and if I tried to do, because that's what happened to me recently, is like I got all excited, was like just did the bridge experience, and then tried to do too many things at once, and I just like lost all of it. I couldn't handle it, and I was like, I'm focusing on this. Like, this is not the time.
And that's more than fine, but
my
again,
response was not.
The default pattern was I can't afford it, and if you keep voicing that, then well, you'll put yourself in, you'll create situations where you can't afford it, and you'll be like, why can't I afford things? But it's not even actually about that.
No, it's not at all.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I think money mindset, and you know, that's my next one that I want to do with you, because it is, for me, my biggest block. So working on that every day.
And again, it was your biggest block, and now
it was the biggest block, and now it's amazing.
Mindset, and it grows daily with ease, and you're working on it. Yeah, it's fun. Right, that's awesome. Cool, powerful. Who else wants to share their identity stuff? What else came up for you guys?
I'm confident and empower people to make positive changes in their life. I'm a person who inspires others to take a leap of faith into something new. I'm a strong and inspirational mum. I have a global following, and I'm positively impacting hundreds of thousands of people with my message. I'm a confident leader. I'm humble and stay true to myself. I'm passionate. I'm an attentive listener. I'm globally recognised for positively impacting the lives of thousands of families.
Yeah.
I'm a master at applying knowledge and a quick learner who grows more each day. I'm a shining example to my daughter. I'm proud of myself. I'm an excellent speaker and I speak with ease. I'm confident within myself and my physical body, my style and grace. I'm crystal clear on what my life purpose is, what my life purpose is, and with that I will change the lives of thousands. I speak with energy and truth, and I capture people's imagination with my message. I'm making an impact every day with my message. I'm self-motivated and I love what I do. I've got that in capitals. I'm healthy and happy. I'm amazing, inspiring life.
Awesome.
And I need to put some financial stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's a valid point to, when you're doing this identity stuff, to to make sure you do have all areas, even if it's something where you don't even feel like you need to focus on. Like if you're like, oh, okay, my health is really good, you still want to be really clear about this identity and what kind of level of health or standard of health they have, because otherwise you end up with a person potentially that nails the identity around like messaging, passion, fulfillment, purpose, income, and then your health will blow out, and you'll be like, why am I now putting on weight? Why am I now having no energy? Like, how is this happening? I used to be so healthy. Because when you shifted identity and up-leveled your identity, you didn't incorporate it in a holistic way, if that makes sense. And it's very easy for us to delete stuff, like the finances in that case, you know. For others of you, it might be that you've deleted what you want in a relationship. Like, all of that shit's important, even if it's not like, oh my gosh, how is that relationship relevant to my, messaging and my purpose and my brand? Well, it is, if you want one, ultimately, or if you want to keep one, or if you want to be a good partner. Like, if you don't care, fine, but generally people do, right? So,
yeah, that was definitely something I really hope that I'm just such a love wife.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. So Kelly, like stepping into that new identity, do you want to share your message with us now, knowing that that's who you are and that's what you have behind you now?
My message would be stop making excuses and just do it now.
Cool.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. Is that feeling more confident for you guys? Just listening to her?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That added, stop making excuses, just that added little bit.
Yeah.
Just made it way more powerful than
Right.
do it now.
Absolutely. Cool. Who's next?
I'll go.
Cool.
So I'm successful. I'm the product of my own happiness.
It's all yours, girl.
I was just borrowing. I'm kind and generous. I have an amazingly fit body. I am living location free and I love it. I have an amazing partner who supports me with everything I do. I'm traveling and earning a bigger and better income than when I was a teacher.
I would get clear on that as well.
Yeah.
I would be like, you need to declare how much money do you actually want to be earning. Because it might be like, if it's bigger and better, if you're earning 50 grand a year, it might be like 52 grand a year, and then you're going to be like, but technically it's bigger. Like, you'll always get what you ask for.
Up higher, I'm earning a multi-million-dollar sum of money every year.
Awesome, that's it. Perfect, good.
I have an amazing tribe of followers that are committed to changing their lives and creating the happiness they deserve. I am grateful for my amazing family who are always there for me. I am in complete alignment with myself and my past, present and future. I am making a positive impact upon the world and will continue to do so forever. I am brave and confident in all aspects of my life. I am unique and will always give myself and others the respect they deserve. And then I'm the best at what I do.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. It's super cool. Feel good?
Yeah, it do.
Yeah, it looks like it feels good.
You're like,
It's very cool. And that's part of identity as well. It's getting clear on, well, with that identity, how does that person sit? How does that person speak? How does that person hold themselves? Like, I can pick successful people just when they walk into a room. And it's not how they're dressed, but it's where their eyes are, it's where their energy is, it's where their shoulders and their head is, and where their focus is. Like, you can pick it straight away, and that's an identity thing as well. So I've seen your identity shift even reading that, it's like, boom, who's joined us at the table? Like, holy shit.
I was doing that yesterday, but even down to like, what did they eat? What did they say?
Right.
yeah,
It's true.
Yeah,
It's totally true. It's totally true. So having that identity now that you've stepped into, what is your message that you are sharing with the world?
I guess you can really have it all. That's why I keep coming back to. You really can have it all. And that's something that you say all the time as well.
Totally believe it.
Yeah.
So many people don't think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that keeps repeating in my brain.
And get it out. And this stuff will keep changing and shifting and growing, I promise you, for like 2 hours and not even.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Very cool. So Nicola.
So my main things was I am whole, I am powerful beyond measure, I am everything I need to be right now. I'm incredibly passionate about sharing my message because I know it will change the world. I'm excited to give and to serve and to help people change their lives in a massive way. I'll help people break down their barriers that hold them back, help them break free and step out of their comfort zones. I have abundant health, wealth, and energy. I'm living at a higher vibration and constantly growing, evolving, and moving forward. Because the more I do, the more I can help people do the same. I have total belief in myself, and my message, I haven't framed it in a way that I would want to put it out, but is I call people on their shit in a way that breaks their state, but is from a place of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. That feels like it's totally you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know whether that needs changing or to be put out in some different way, but that's feeling pretty good. That's awesome. Comments, feedback, thought?
I love it, mate. Yeah. I love that I call people out on this shit.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people need calling out on your shit, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people are looking for someone to call them out on your shit, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
such a powerful approach too.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, you know, but being in a space of like calling people out and then giving them a solution for their day, like
Totally. Awesome. So we're basically, if you haven't worked this out, we're basically tapping into the message, layering in the identity, and a part of layering the message and the identity is now I want to get into your unique story, because ultimately, you know what, there's 1,001 people, you know, telling people that they can have it all. There's 1,001 people, you know, being like, I'm going to call you on your shit. There's 1,001 people being coaches or, you know, empowering people, whatever. But the thing that makes them stand out is them, right? And especially when it comes to personal branding, it's their message, but it's also like all of this energy and layering and backing behind the message. And part of that is your story, right? You ready? You ready for it? Because we're going to go deep. I'm going to start, right? And this is what I was sharing before, and I really want to, I guess, challenge you guys a little bit with this, right? So it looks kind of like this in terms of your story. It's like down here, this is vulnerability, okay? And it's like a scale. This is like not vulnerable at all. And then this is like, holy shit, the most vulnerable thing I've ever shared in my life. I'm freaking out right now, okay? And up here is like everything good. So money, success, fame, impact, everything here, right? And it's exactly what I said to you, Marissa, before, that what most people don't realize is that it actually is like this, and it's directly proportional to where you're at and how much you're sharing. So if you're like, I'm not going to share my story or my mission or my purpose or my message at all, well, look at that. The money and the impact and the fame and everything is literally zilch because you're not showing up, right? Versus someone who goes, okay, well, you know, this is one part of me that I've never shared before, but I'm going to like balls up and I'm going to do it. I'm going to like get to here. Like there's a lot more of my story that I'm not telling people. I'm going to get to here. It's like, okay, cool. And you will see, relative to that, some sort of impact. You'll see some sort of impact, some sort of income, you'll see some sort of success, some sort of increase in visibility, versus literally going all out and going, do you know what, I'm all in, I don't care, now is the time for people to unapologetically hear who I am, to know my story, I'm going to fully step into this room, I'm going to be totally okay with being vulnerable, and guess what, the impact up here is like directly proportional, and when it comes to the success, the money, all of it, right, all of it. And look, this is valid on every scale. Like this is valid through your branding. This is even just valid through like videos you might do, for example. Like I know, you know, you've put out vulnerable videos in the past, and you might have been sharing something really close to your heart. You might have even had tears. Those are always the ones that get the biggest response, every time, right? Versus the ones which are all like pretty and perfect and polished and kind of practiced, and then people are like, oh yeah, okay, right? The level of vulnerability is so low. So, does this make sense to everyone? Okay. And again, you get to choose. I'm not telling you you have to like do this today, but I just want you to be aware of it. And it's like, well, how big do you want to go? How big of a game do you want to play? How deep do you want to go? How far in do you want to go? How committed are you? But just know that it is proportional to what you receive back. Okay. So, what I want to dive into now is your story. Now, obviously, you guys have all amazing, incredible, unique stories, right? Now, you have unique successes. So, is that how you spell successes? I don't even know. You guys get it, right? I cannot write and talk at the same time because it never comes out either way. So, you have unique successes, you have brilliant things you've done, and people are often either on the other side of this where they're like, oh, I haven't achieved anything, but even successes, you might be an amazing mom, for example, right? You might be really, really good at just lifting people up. So I want you to do some work, and we'll do this in a sec, around everything that you've achieved in your life, everything that you deem yourself to be successful at, okay? The next thing we're going to go through, is your unique failures, okay? Now, here's the thing. Your failures, or things where you may have considered them a failure in your past, this is actually the most powerful stuff, right? This is the most powerful stuff. There is the most impact created here, again, when you share this stuff. There's the most money made. If you can avoid someone else having these same failures as you, you're onto something really good. Because who wants to fail in life, right? No one does. So people are generally willing to do whatever it takes in order to avoid the failure. And if you've gone through specific things, we need to get that out, because that is part of your messaging, okay? And then I want you to go through any critical turning points. Now, what I mean by this is, you will have times in your story where everything shifted, right? Where you went from, well, I was here, and then I was here, and then I was here, and then I was here. But in between that, something would have happened which flipped either your mindset or your actions, right? So to give you a really general example, it was like, okay, I was at university, I was studying architecture, and you decided to do that, which is just randomly, right? So the turning point for me in my story is like, well, okay, I sat in that lecture room, and this new lecturer came in, and they welcomed us to the beginning of the trimester, and he was like, welcome future architects, I want you to picture your future. And I had a flash forward of oh my god, that's what my future's gonna look like in this 9-to-5 job that I don't really want to be in. And that's what spurred me on to be like, I have to make a change. So see how that little moment was the turning point. So the easiest way to get these turning points out is to write out all the little points in your story. It might be you went to school, and you went to university, and you used Jess, then you had a job, you didn't like it, and you got 2 other jobs, you didn't like it, and then this happened. But what flipped everything along this way in order to take you in your story from where you are now from where you were to where you are now. What are all the little turning points along the way? Does that make sense? Because again, people need to understand through your story, how did it happen? So when we pull out the story, we're going to use it in your messaging and in your stuff. People need to see, okay, she was at A, she's now at B. I understand how she shifted through that, and that makes them go indirectly, oh, maybe I can shift through that too. And even at another level, oh, maybe they can help me shift through that too. Because they've understood the shift. They haven't just gone oh, I woke up and went to school and now I'm really successful in whatever it is that you're talking about, right? It's well, how did that happen? We need to understand the journey around that, okay? And last but not least, I want you to give some thought to what makes you stand out, okay? So you're starting to get your messaging out, which is really cool, but what makes you different specifically? It may be one big massive thing, it may be a collection of things. Anything that comes up for you in that moment is right. And a perfect example is you can have it all. What makes you stand out and what makes you different from me standing there going, I believe you can have it all. Same message, which is perfect by the way, and there's lots of people out there with the same message, but what makes it different? What makes it unique? What makes you stand out from everyone else? What makes people want to listen to your message because you stand out in this way? Make sense? Cool. So, unique success points, unique failures, turning points which have got you through your journey, and then key elements of what makes you stand out. Do you guys have any questions? Ready to dive in?
When you say failure, I'm a little bit unclear on
well, you probably don't see them as failures now if you've moved past them. But for example, you could say, I was at school and I literally failed every class, I was a D student, right? And then I went on and I was in a great relationship, but the person cheated on me and I ended up single. Like, yeah, we get it because we're evolved humans. That wouldn't be seen as a failure now. But in terms of something that someone else is going through, where in their moment it's like, I failed. He cheated on me. I failed school. I failed. I went to prison. I failed. I got really depressed and I couldn't get happy again. I failed, right? So what would that, or you could call it negative times or challenging times or aspects that you've basically moved through and obviously broken past or shifted from that really down point in order again through these turning points. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's get straight into it. Let's do it.